everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Why so
what?
blue, Mr. O?
Because it's time for the unhappy hour.
It's time to find out that this might hurt. These readings, this might hurt, but we're going to try to make it all better, aren't we?
The unhappy hour is our collective reading for the elemental signs of the Zodiac and a bonus one for the world at large. And we seek to find out what it is that's bumming you out and what you can possibly do to turn that frown upside down.
To make it all better again.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So, we do this for the elemental signs of the Zodiac, and we end with a reading for what is hurting the world.
There's an echo here. I just said that.
I'm repeating it. For emphasis.
All right, so we're going to start off with the air signs.
And they are
Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
readings for you for the fourth quarter ahead. And think about this. It's actually not just for the fourth quarter. It's till we go to the next fourth quarter moon.
That's the way it works.
Which he might have said also.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if I agree with you on that.
It goes from fourth quarter to fourth quarter.
I just don't think that something can be hurting us for a whole month.
Well, but you're working through it. We're processing. We're working through it.
Okay. So.
Bly agrees with me.
Sure, that's because
and
Bly
don't
can
forget, the future looks bright.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So another convention of our unhappy hour is, ironically, like the happy hour, all cards are read in one particular direction.
That's
in
right.
this case, reverse.
For the happy hour, they're read upright, for better or worse. And this way, they're read reversed, for better
or worse. So, card one, what is or will be making us unhappy this month?
Air signs. Well,
oh dear, what could this possibly
that could
mean?
definitely make one unhappy.
Yes.
Yeah, I sense Mercury retrograde at work here, but it's already it's going direct this week. But you know what? That doesn't stop us from perhaps air signs taking and making some reckless actions, some careless actions you might regret. Were you talking on the cell phone while driving and whoops, smacked into someone, or didn't realize somebody was smacking into you? Was there something you could have avoided by not behaving recklessly? Well, it's making you kind of unhappy when all is said and done.
Thank you. On a broader level, maybe feeling a lack of intuitive correctness could be making us sad, feeling like some of the hunches or guesses we made just aren't turning out, and that may bum us out too.
And you're welcome.
Alrighty.
At any rate, that's what's going on. Something that went amiss, something you took a chance on even, maybe took a risk that you're now regretting.
So, card two, how are we dealing or how will we be dealing with this?
Air signs. It's the Knight of Cups reversed.
Boo-hoo, eh?
Wow, you're drowning in your sorrows there, like literally. Do be careful that you're not overindulging in something because you're so blue and down. That happens a lot, you know, but it does mean that you are definitely dealing with this in kind of a emotionally turbulent way, for lack of a better word.
It's possible that you may be actually making yourself a little bit more aloof, that you're feeling emotionally distant from people and closed, you know, and so you may be making yourself less available to people, and people may be wondering, where's so-and-so? They're not around.
So why are your feelings justified?
And it's the Hanged Man reversed. Well, it's possible that your feelings are justified because you feel the sacrifices aren't worth it, that what you've tried to give up didn't avail you not. Maybe you feel like you've tried to make positive changes and they weren't received well, or that somehow you didn't feel something inspiring and epiphany like from them.
I think you're starting to realize now, and maybe that's what's making you feel unhappy here, that you're wanting to take these risks, these reckless risks. You know, your ego got in the way, basically. You just feel entitled. You know, even people who talk on cell phones in their car, they know it's dangerous, but they feel entitled to do this risky maneuver, you know, because, hey, I've got a phone and I can talk to people whenever I want, even if it puts my life at risk. I'm using this as an obvious example here. But the bottom line is, you know that something you wanted, okay, you wanted to do badly enough, and you were going to do it come hell or high water. You know, now you have your ego to blame for this. Maybe you should have waited.
Bam, I was just going to say that,
Right?
you know, the hangman reverse is maybe saying, like, you know, you let your ego screw up.
So, and you're realizing it. So, how do you turn that frown upside down? Wow!
Nice. It's the Five of Cups
Because
reverse.
that's actually very positive reverse. So I like this turn of events. I think you turn this frown upside down by packing up those remaining cups you didn't spill over, you know, and moving on to new opportunities. Let it go. We all make mistakes we regret, you know, but don't have regrets. Learn from them. Take the lessons. Take those cups as lessons learned and move on to new opportunities for growth and advancement. Hey, if you have to get your car repaired or get a new car, you know, or pay some sort of fine because you were at fault in an accident, or whatever the case may be, pick up, move on, and be better. Learn, you know you can be.
And you know, I feel that we may cover this in the wrap up again, but I feel like that's what this is saying, is that it is time to maybe forget about the past. You can't really change it in this instance, and you just have to try to repurpose yourself towards better.
So I think here that this is going to be a learning experience for you guys, you air signs. Let's recap and go back to the beginning here. So what's making you unhappy right now is some risk or something you did, you know, recklessly, is not paying off, is not serving you well. You know, it's failed, or you've lost something in the process of this. Did you lose a relationship by making a reckless maneuver or move, or saying the wrong things you shouldn't have said? Whatever the case may be, you realize now this was a bad mistake.
It may have felt like it was a chance you were going to take, but it was the wrong chance.
And so how are you dealing with it? Well, you're wallowing in the feels. You feel bad. You may feel guilty, but you feel bad. You may be, you know, you may be acting out of these negative emotions rather than processing this the way you should. Don't let you're letting your emotions get in the way of, you know, thinking your way through this.
It's not as bad as maybe some other cards reversed, like the Queen of Cups could be, but it is saying, really, you know, you probably need to get with the plan and do better once again.
Yeah. So, and then...
are your feelings justified?
Well, because I think you're coming to some self-realization here when all is said and done that, yes, I screwed up. It's my bad. I wanted something so bad. I didn't think of the consequences. I didn't think of the effect that it might have on others.
Air signs, if you're lucky, you'll realize this is not a blow to your ego, but this is really something that maybe will build your ego to be in a better spot overall. Right, healthier spot. Thank you.
Ultimately, how do you turn that frown upside down? By taking the lessons learned to heart and moving on to better days. Better days lies ahead. This event, you know, if you handle it right now and you take care of business, whatever you've wronged, make it right again as best you can and move on to better days. You know, you aren't defined by this one experience.
Yesterday's endings will tomorrow's life give you.
Aww.
As a song once said.
Nice. It's your shuffle. So we are on the fire signs.
Fire.
Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This reading's for us for the week ahead. Our week ahead. I'm in my material matters mode for the moon's phase ahead. Till next quarter moon, we meet again. Fourth quarter moon. Right, Sonny? Our emotional support cat is here.
Where were you during our live
Oh, you
stream?
missed the live show. You missed Kara.
That's going to make her unhappy.
Oh, no.
But when she watches the Unhappy Hour, she'll see you and she'll be happy.
There you go.
Okay. Fire signs. What is or will be making you unhappy? And it's the Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands reversed says you realize that maybe something you thought was going to happen, you know, your plans were kind of stable. Maybe not so much. Maybe things you were working for just sort of got out of hand and you no longer hold or have the hands on the function that you need to have.
Well, fire signs, my friends, it looks like our plans have come to naught. Plans have failed, or plans are really mired in a lot of delay or difficulty. They did not turn out the way you had hoped they would, and it's making you very unhappy. I can relate.
So therefore, how are we going to deal with this, fire signs? And it's the Five of Pentacles.
I like that.
And
Healthy.
And this is healthy for the fire signs and so true to form for the fire signs because I think so, because they're just kind of our initiators more so in some respects. Maybe the air signs come close. But this is saying really the way you're dealing with it is to realize you just have to look a little bit harder to find the key to what those problems were, the key to making it turn around if possible, or to reinvigorating it and just starting anew.
Wow, this is such a cool card in a way here because it's saying how you're trying to deal or will be trying to deal with this. You're going to look for ways to fix it. You know, you aren't going to give up. You realize you may have to go back to the drawing board here, but you're willing to look for a healing path now, a way forward. And that's half the battle when things go south. That's a big part of the battle when things go south. Another part of this battle may be that you are not afraid to reach out to others now for support and help if you need it.
So fire signs, why were your feelings or are they justified?
Oh.
And it's another two. It's the Two of Cups.
Wow.
Your feelings are justified because whatever this was, it probably really hurt emotionally. It maybe made you feel like either you were separated from something you really liked or someone that's involved in it, or you felt like ultimately you no longer felt you could trust what was going on there.
What's really interesting about this, because I don't want to say it's necessarily a relationship, though it could have relationship vibes, this whole reading didn't work out for you. You didn't get, the relationship you wanted. You didn't get that first date. But you know what? The thing here is you feel your feelings are justified because it separated you from something you desired. It put a block between you and something you truly wanted and needed, you felt you needed in your life. And so, so you do feel your feelings are justified.
So finally then, how will you turn that frown upside down, fire signs?
The truth shall set you free?
The Seven of Swords, the truth shall set you free, indeed. This may be saying really that you may have to employ some methods that will take you to the dark side, but it's all about the service of the truth will set you free. That maybe what happens is that maybe you might find out there are some other things you didn't realize that are also part of that process. Understanding them may help you find a better way in the future.
You know what? Accept responsibility if you have if you core what's gone wrong here. Number one, don't blame externals, don't blame others, but accept responsibility.
Good.
Again, this is similar to the other reading in that you need to face the reality that you're presented with, the real facts. Things didn't work out. You might need help or support, or just look for the healing now. Just because there's a rift between you does not mean that you can't move forward either to revisit this or in a more positive direction elsewhere. This is a time for you to face the reality, though, and take responsibility and to do what you got to do. And also, I do feel that not just the truth will set you free, but knowledge will set you free. See if you can't figure out what it is you're lacking here. In your ability to heal this situation, try to figure out what it is that went wrong and what you could do better next time.
I feel that knowledge could be an epiphany of sorts.
Yeah.
So let's review these.
Interesting reading for you, fire sign.
Nice, yes.
Yeah, let's recap. Okay, clearly plans have failed, and you know what? Things did not turn out the way you had hoped for, and you're unhappy. Simple as that.
It really was probably major in a way, at least in terms of context for what you believed or thought.
Yeah, things did not work out. And so now, what are you doing about it? You're trying to heal. You're trying to heal and find a way to either fix it, if it's fixable, or go back to the drawing board if necessary. And also, if you need some help and support from others, you're willing to accept that.
Something needs to be found to resolve it one way or the other.
Well, this was, your feelings are justified because you feel a real loss here. You feel you lost ground, you've lost something important to you, you lost something, that you felt would really be good for you in your life. Whether it's a person, whether it's a project or goal that has hit a stumbling block.
It may be, too, that, this does change a relationship with somebody or something about it, that your feelings of how well you can trust this.
And ultimately, take responsibility, accept it, accept that you just didn't either think this through enough or it just wasn't meant to be in the manner that you have pursued it. So either find the fix or move on with more knowledge so you can have a better, go at it next time.
It's maybe an acceptance of the fact that it did have to happen.
Like it.
And the chips had to fall where they did.
Yep. Good luck with that, fire signs.
All right, so now we'll move on to the water signs.
Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This reading's for you. Stay there, Sonny. I'll be right back. Stay there. And let me shuffle my cards, please. Ooh, that was kind of a short one. There. Your turn.
All right.
I'm back. I'm back.
Yes, don't worry. She's back. Mama's back.
There. Where are those paws? Give me those paws. Oh, I want you. Lay back. Hey, get off my wand. There. Yeah. There you go. See? All right. So where does it hurt? What is making or will be making you water signs unhappy right now? Oh.
It's strength reversed. You may feel that you've tried too hard to solve things and that the pressure you were using wasn't suitable enough. You could also feel possibly too that this was coming towards you, that somebody has dealt with you harshly or over strenuously rather than applying understanding or possibly love and compassion to the situation.
I like the way you said that because I was leaning towards this pressure, this feeling, the sense that you have to push yourself is coming from external sources. Is it, for example, a parent trying to push you into a certain path? path or goal? Is it peer pressure? Is it pressure from colleagues or bosses at work that you're experiencing right now? You feeling pressure from some external source to perform, to maybe push yourself, and you're just not so sure you want to.
So how will you be dealing with this, fire signs?
Wow, it's the Six of Wands reversed. Well, I feel like you could be dealing with it here by giving up. Sometimes this is a card of victory after all. There's many associations you could do with this card. But one of them is this fact that it could be feeling like this is too much pressure on me from others, outsiders who don't seem to be supporting me the way I feel they should. And so you're ready to give up. You're ready to put up the white flag here.
Is it possible also, too, that maybe it's more than you're ready to give up, that maybe you have given up because you sort of feel like things are unfair, things didn't favor you in the way that they felt they should have?
Instead of the support you were hoping for, you're getting nothing but pressure and pushback.
Are these feelings justified?
Why are feelings justified? Because maybe it's time to let go of something. Release this pressure from your life to push yourself to either achieve more than what you need or desire, or what's really healthy for you. Maybe this is a time to say enough. Enough is enough.
Is or was this about something that you did want to release and that maybe you were not able to do that, and maybe this is why you feel it was justified, because this needed to come out one way or the other?
So, how do you turn that frown upside down, you water signs, you?
Uh-oh. Get a lawyer.
Well, it could come to that. If this pressure on you is something that literally is something
justice reversed,
that is, illegal, somebody using violence or coercion or manipulation to try to get you to do something you don't want to do, the thing is, it could be that. But it could also be about finding the balance in your life. You need to restore balance in your life. You need to feel that what you're putting out there is not, you shouldn't have to stretch yourself like a rubber band to the breaking point to please others. You should be able to approach things in a more balanced way. And if the balance is not there, it's time to move on.
In some ways or the other, balance sort of figures into most of these cards, especially the two outer ones in a way. This is saying really that you do have to accept that maybe sometimes fair is another planet, as they say.
That's true too. I like it. So let's recap for the water signs. So,
water signs. What's making you unhappy right now?
Pressures. External pressures. People wanting you, trying to push you, coerce you, manipulate you, get you to do more with less. And you're feeling it.
Maybe you feel it's a harder push to get people to understand you than it should be. That maybe people should understand you more easily, but you have to force it.
So, how are you dealing with it? Well, you're really putting up the white flag. You're almost ready to give up on the situation.
Yep.
Because you really don't, well, he said understand, and maybe, but you really don't feel like you're getting the support from others, or the appreciation for the sacrifices and the things that you have made already. And so you're saying, I don't think I can take much more of this.
Right. It could be the idea of like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm going to take my marbles and go somewhere else.
And so why are your feelings justified? Well, because you're beginning to realize more and more that it may be time to let something go that isn't of value to you anymore. Maybe it's friendships or partnerships or relationships that just have lost their value over time, and you feel like you're just being boxed into a corner. Maybe this is a job that's putting so much pressure on you that the rest of your life is suffering. It's time to let it go.
I'm getting a smidgen of a feeling that says that maybe you feel people don't like what it is you give or offer.
Okay.
They're just not impressed.
They're not finding the value in you.
Could be.
So how to turn that frown upside down? restore balance in your life in whatever it takes. If it means leaving this behind, or if it means having a heart-to-heart with the people involved here and trying to get them to recognize that they have pushed you too far, and that you're ready to walk unless changes are made. One way or another, balance needs to be restored.
It can apply to all, but fair is another planet, as I said, and so the idea is that maybe you each have your lines in the sand and you have to deal accordingly.
That's what we have for you water signs.
All right.
Good luck with that.
So now we will move on to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you lifted your head up, because guess what? I have to move my hand again. Yes, I do. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sonny. Could you move your arm a little bit for me? Thank you. I'm sorry. But it's the Sun Man at work here. He's here to brighten everybody's unhappy hour. And isn't it funny how he came down for this show? It's almost as if he knew.
Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
He's our unofficial therapy cat for TFT. Right, Sun Man? You betcha. All right. Just a minute, Sun Man. I need my arm for the cut. There we go.
Great. So, earth signs, what is or will be making you unhappy?
Ooh.
And you may feel that structure is too hard for you right now. Maybe that's the structure that you feel from your job or your family or life in general. You may feel that somehow you would rather, maybe it's the opposite in a way. Maybe you feel like things are not structured enough. Okay, maybe I'm going to say that.
Well, depending on the other cards, we could go either way with this.
Sure.
I think you're right in what you said initially. I would have went that way too, is that maybe, you're in a rebellious state of mind right now. You're rebelling against religious dogma, political systems. We have a lot of protest movements going on right now, the Gaza thing. So there could be just things that are making you in a rebellious frame of mind right now. It could be with family, who are putting structural dictates on you. We don't operate that way. It's against our religion. You must follow this tradition, whether you want to or not. There's some sort of a sense of rebellion here going on, and it kind of hurts when you have to do that, because you have to stand up for yourself. Okay, a lot of people don't have a problem doing that, but it's going to affect your relations with others in some way when you do this, or your livelihood for that matter.
So how will you be dealing with this then? Tower reversed.
Oh no.
So
well, you aren't dealing with this well.
You aren't, because the idea is that maybe you're upset by conventionality or conformity of some sort, but dealing with it by maybe further still going with it won't teach you a lesson that is good to learn, and that you may actually create chaos.
Are you saying they're still towing the line?
Well, no, I'm thinking that this is just talking about a sense of chaos that's going to ensue anyways, and whether or not you'll be able to understand if there was a lesson from that.
So how you may be dealing with this, I think, with the Tower reversed, is that it's how you approach your rebellion that's important here. And I think here you're not dealing with it in a very constructive way. Instead of trying to build things up, build a better foundation, you're more interested in the destructive aspects of tearing things down. And so,
I like this.
That is not healthy in and of itself. If we're going to break down structures, we need to do it in such a way that we have a better plan to put in place. I mean, to just break something down for the sake of breaking it down because you think it's wrong is not the solution. You have to be a part of creating a solution and not making the problem worse.
And this is an interesting reading because generally speaking, the earth signs are more concerned with stability. So whatever is rankling you must be pretty important. So
it's pretty interesting.
Why are your feelings justified then? And it's the reverse, Two of Pentacles. And so ultimately, it may feel like you don't like the way the systems are going. You don't like the balance. But it seems to me like maybe you're not able to recognize where your part is also not helping that balance.
I almost wonder here, this is kind of out on a limb, but, you know, the Two of Pentacles is about, when it's upright, maintaining order during chaotic times. But guess what? It's reversed. And so I'm wondering here if your feelings are justified because you feel throwing things into a little chaos is necessary right now to get what you want. But, you know, when I see that Tower card reversed here, I'm not sure that's the best of ideas.
So how ultimately may you be able to turn the frown upside down? Well, it's true. You have to find the key. You have to find the way in to where maybe you can sort this all out and understand what is comforting, what will renew faith or what will renew trust, things like that.
Wow, well, the Five of Pentacles is, you know, when it's upright, is about as bottom as you can get, you know, financially or physically, in many ways, emotionally. And so I feel here when it's reversed, what this is saying, how you can turn that frown upside down is to be a helper, be a helper rather than a herder. I mean, I think here, to turn this around, the chaos angle is not that good unless like you have a healing modality in place here. So in other words, you have to find the key, as Mr. O said, to healing what's wrong, to building something more positive out of what you feel is negative here and what you're rebelling against. But rebellion in and of itself is an act, but it's not an act necessarily of healing. It's an act of destruction unless you find the healing modality to replace it with. You know, it's great to say, you know, like all the peaceniks of the 60s and all of that, we all wanted peace. Give peace a chance. However, we have to find that pathway to peace. We have to build peace. Peace just does not come because we say we want peace. We have to work for that. We have to work for it and we have to maintain it. Well, this is a deep reading. It's almost like a card for the world, not a reading for the earth signs. However, maybe something is really rocking the foundations of your world right now.
Well, Pentacle is the sign of earth.
Let's move on.
Recap.
So let's recap. So earth signs, I think here you're rebelling against something. You're rebelling against tradition, expectations, work rules, procedures, you know, maybe against something in greater society. You're part of a rebel movement. And it's because the order or conditions as they are not making you happy.
You're unhappy because there's a sense that things are really at some sort of fever point for change and you don't understand maybe where it will change or if it will change for a good thing.
And how are you reacting? Well, you just want to take everything all down. Right. You think that's the answer. Just take it all down. But that's not helping you assimilate the lessons here of what went wrong. Because you know, history can repeat itself, right? And why? Because we don't learn the lessons. And that goes on a personal level as well. You have to take away some lessons and build something better from this. Not just break something down without a plan.
Enough said.
All right,
So why are our feelings justified?
go for it.
Because the Two of Pentacles says that maybe we want to deal with this topsy-turvy thing. We want to find the balance. We don't like the unbalance of the situation.
Is it that we want to make others sweat right now? You know, maybe we feel put out and rebellious, so we're going to make it hard on everybody else. That is not a solution, but I feel here you almost feel like there's more to be gained by creating chaos than it is to be creating order from the chaos, because of this Tower reversed I see here. So
Earth signs, you're really kind of in a darker space than normal, maybe.
yeah. And what you need to do is get back to a place of healing. Get back to a place of looking out for yourself, others, community, and trying to restore some sense of fair play, justice, and things that you can live with. Now, you know, everybody is not the same, and maybe not all structures fit every one person. However, we all have to learn to work together and find that common ground, and build from there.
You have to
Be a
find your
part
way
of
in.
the solution. Be a part of healing, and not a part of chaos.
I like that, because in a way, those are really cool diametric oppositions.
Good luck with that, Earth signs.
All right, Earth signs. So
Where
now
are
at
the
last,
where
does it hurt, world?
Oh my goodness.
Our final reading for this show, Where Does It Hurt, world, where we try to look at the overall collective feelings of the world. This may not necessarily be one predominant area of the world or not, or it's a gestalt to some degree of what maybe is the common feelings in the world. So it may not exactly replicate what people in Tanzania feel versus Alaska, you know, that kind of thing.
TMI, Mr. O.
TMI.
Bly is here. Bly is here to cheer us up. And so is my young sunny cat. You have come to save the world, haven't you, Sunny?
If you think so. All right, world, what will be making you unhappy right now? It's the reversed Page of Swords.
Imposters, fraudsters. You know, when I look at that card reversed, I'm not going to mention names, but we have a lot of them out there. People that want to sell you things that are not in your best interests. And also misinformation, misconstruing things. You know, I think there's a lot of that going on in the world today. Whether, you know, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories. Hey, you know, it's okay to question things sometimes. That's okay. But I think some things are getting out of hand, and it's getting worrisome. It's making people very unhappy right now. Trying to figure out fact from fiction, trying to figure out, you know, like, for example, we have an election coming up in this country. Who's going to really set us on the right path? And who's selling us a bill of goods? Well, you know, if you're on one side of the fence, you definitely think it's your side that's going to save you. So, you know, but we have to try to really sort out fact from fiction.
Thank you. So
You're welcome.
To me, the Page of Swords really talks about issues of diplomacy. And of course, when it's reversed, it's saying things are not very diplomatic right now. Things are not graceful. Things are not moving in a more appreciative manner. And this could be saying, you know, that why we're unhappy is because we sense that things are making the wrong moves. Things are making the wrong calibrations, etc. You know, that whatever controls us is maybe enacting in tacky ways, even. Not controls us, but, you know, informs us.
Bam, 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 bam.
You liked it?
Well, let's talk about diplomacy, shall we?
Yes.
Or the lack thereof. I mean, there's a lot of people that think more could be done right now to get a ceasefire and an agreement reached to end this war in Gaza. Ukraine was hoping that their incursion into Russia, and the ground that they keep making there and some of the other moves they're making would weaken Russia enough that they would loosen their grip and want to come back to the bargaining table and bargain in good faith. Neither seem to be working well right now. Diplomacy is failing. So, if you want to get to bottom line stuff right there, that's some of what could be, these cards could be talking
So how
about.
will we be dealing with this then, world? It's the Ace of Swords reversed. And this is saying this is really a volatile time, that maybe from the world's point of view, there could be some naked aggression going on. There is naked aggression going on.
How are we dealing with this? Well, I feel like many people feel that all is lost, that there's no victory to be gained right now anywhere. Everything seems, and this is how we're dealing with it. Is that people are giving up? That's a dangerous place to be, because that can open the door to dictators and fascist-minded people taking over when we feel too weak to stand up for ourselves, and that there's no other recourse than letting some sort of big daddy or, even big government solve our problems.
If we could liken this to, the sense of surgery on the world, this is saying there's a bad surgery procedure trying to take care of the world or hurt it more.
So are our feelings justified right now? Why are they? Right, because everything is out of balance right now. So much unfairness.
Incredible injustice.
So many people feeling they are the victim. It's like a victim mentality is going on all the way around here, instead of, one that is supportive. There's no sense of feeling of supporting each other here. We're either figuring out how best to victimize each other, which is a terrible place to be.
It's almost like the ascendancy of evil to some respect, and maybe that's why we're feeling like everything is weighted against justice. Everything is weighted against justice.
Right, and that's a good point right now, too. We can look at what's happening in our country. It seems like our justice system, there's always been some polarization, and I'm sure that even in the most objective cases, court cases, etc., that there's always some favoritism that might rear its head. But the bottom line is, things have never been worse than they are now. There's a lack of faith in, justice in our country in particular.
Wow. So how can we turn this frown upside down? Bam. The devil reversed. Well,
Liberty.
There's a lot of addictive behaviors that we could learn how to overcome. As world citizens, we are addicted to a lot of things. Some more so than others, maybe some more to our detriment than others.
Maybe our addiction to greed and consumption are part of the big problem here. Russia wants more land. They, the megalo billionaires that Russia had maybe just didn't have enough. They want Ukraine. They want Eastern Europe back. They want all their land back under their thumb. There are so few people in Russia that are doing well, and there are so many megalo billionaires that hold the wealth. And so you kind of see that at play here. You see it in this country as well. You see a lot of billionaires and people who are greedy trying to control and succeeding to a lot of extent of controlling our political process on both sides. And so, this is a time to free ourselves from what's holding us back and restricting us. We have more power than we realize. We're allowing it. We're allowing ourselves to be chained to these things. And if we continue to do so, well, you can see some of where things have been heading.
In this essence, or in this sense, the devil is the codependencies of the world, all the things that we feel we have to have in order to have our world. We need to maybe figure out that we don't need all those things, that some of those things make us codependent to powers or forces that ultimately don't have our interest at heart.
Very vague. What an interesting reading. I'm not sure I can get too specific, but I definitely think, the wars could be part of what's going on here, political divide. I think that those of you in Britain and England are going through your own crises of faith right now in either the justice system or your political environment, or how even race relations and ethnic relations are going with each other right now. So I think here, we can all look at this in a lot of different ways. So take some of the messages of what we're going to say to heart here. Right now, it just seems like diplomacy and our ability to constructively communicate and come up with solutions to problems with one another is frayed or non-existent at this time. There's a lot of reckless, careless acts going on without thought and without thinking about what the ramifications are with others. And people don't seem to want to work together anymore to find solutions.
There's something clumsy and heavy-handed going on with the way the world is being operated, and it makes us unhappy.
And in particular, it could revolve around diplomatic or legal matters. Look at all the swords in this reading, might I add.
Look at that.
And then we have justice, which to me, well, she's got a sword, right? So, let's think about that a little bit. There's definitely challenging times here.
Well, how are we dealing with this? Or how will we be dealing with this?
So many of us want to give up. So many people, that I can't vote, for example. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to be part of the process. That's their answer. They've given up. And so they're leaving it up to the rest of us to decide our fate here in this country, and also around the world. People are close to giving up on things, whether it's the Gazans in Palestine who feel like the world is abandoning them, whether it's the women in Taliban society who are being just clamped down mercilessly by the Taliban right now. There's a sense of hopelessness and defeat that we cannot fight this machine that's going on.
Well, the reversed Ace of Swords itself could be the misapplications of force, too.
Yes.
And, of course, many countries fear that with nationalism and various other forces, politically or otherwise, going on in their country, threatening
and using war
dissent.
As a weapon, to get what you want. So...
Are our feelings justified? Well, clearly we don't feel there's justice.
We feel there's no justice, there's no way to get it, there's no way to even the scales and balance these scales out. People are too polarized and stuck in their positions, and we've laid out the examples of that. And so how do we turn that frown upside down? Work for liberty. Work for freedom.
Thank you.
Work for personal freedom, but also collective freedom. We must not allow those who have more determine our fate. Hey, the French Revolution was based on that once upon a time. Now, I'd prefer to have solutions that don't involve violence here. But, what am I seeing here? I'm not seeing positive, a constructive working together. It's almost leading to a point where there could be an uprising of some sort to try to solve this. But I think we're seeing it now with, some of the different blowbacks that are going on in the world.
Well, I think the next couple of months with our UnHappy Hour, we will definitely be watching the world's reading to see where things are going to.
Well, to be truly honest with you, I will be definitely thinking that it might be about our elections because they are so close, they are so tight, it is so polarized, and we never know with what's going on with the polls or the media here. So I'm going to rely on the tarot.
Well, we expect to actually
kind of give us some wisdom here.
Be doing a reading along those ways as we're moving further into the American political season.
Stay tuned for that.
We hope to do a reading on that. But we want to thank everybody for coming to the happy hour. We're close to 50 minutes here, so I think we can wrap it up safely and say, try to find your happiness.
Sonny just silently meowed his goodbye a few minutes ago.
So, hey, everyone. Thanks again for watching us.
Thanks for watching us. We hope that these readings will serve you well in this month ahead. And remember, this will be good till we come back at the start of the next fourth quarter moon next month for a new unhappy hour. So hopefully it won't all hurt you too bad, and you'll find your way through to happiness once more.
Right.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.